Okay, so I'm gonna be performing tracheostomy care and cleaning. So before I start, I'm going to first check the MD order. Once I check the MD order, I'm gonna head over to the patient's room, and I'm gonna knock on the door. I'm gonna perform hand hygiene. After I perform hand hygiene, I'm gonna introduce myself to the patient. Then I'm gonna tell the patient to introduce himself. After he introduces himself, I'm gonna ask for his name and date of birth from me, and I'm gonna check his wristband. Okay, so I check his wristband. Everything. The patient is it's the right patient. So then I'm gonna explain to the patient that I'm gonna be performing a tracheostomy cleaning and tracheostomy care. So once I explain to the patient, I'm going to start by first I'm gonna lower the rail. Actually, I'm going to raise the bed first. So I'm gonna raise the bed to a comfortable position for me. Then I'm going to adjust the patient so he's sitting upright. Okay. And I'm gonna lower the rail. So once I lower the rail, I'm going to start by listening to the patient's lung sounds, make sure they're not congested. So I'm going to start listening. Okay. So the patient's lung sound congested, which is why I'm going to be performing the tracheostomy cleaning to clean him up. So then I'm going to check for his pulse oximetry. I'm going to put the device on his finger. I'm going to check his pulse. Okay, so once I check his pulse, I'm going to start setting myself up. So I'm going to start by washing my hands again. And I'm going to put on a pair of sterile gloves. Okay, so I put on my pair of sterile gloves. Now I'm going to turn on my oxygen. As I turn it on, I'm going to make sure it's at 15. So I set up to 15. And I'm going to turn on my vacuum and make sure it's at 150, between 100, between that range. So once I turn that on, I'm going to get my suction pump. And I'm going to make sure that it's properly working. So it's properly working. I'm going to set it to the side. I'm going to set my oxygen pump to the side as well. Okay. Once that's set to the side, I'm going to start. Once it's to the side, I'm going to remove my gloves.
So you go first because you know what you're doing.
From garbage. Then I'm going to start. I'm going to wash my hands. And then I'm going to start preparing my sterile field. But before I do that, I'm going to grab my chuck and patient up. I'm going to grab my chuck and place it under the patient's chest to prevent him from getting wet. I'm going to keep his mask on so he can keep getting oxygen. Okay. So as I put the chuck under his chest, I'm going to start by setting up my sterile field. First, I'm going to put on my mask.
Have you done a history project for assessment? No. I have my first interview though, so like.
After I put on my mask, I'm going to open up the saline container. As I open it, I'm going to check for the date, make sure it's not expired. Once I check for the date, I'm going to make sure it's not open. This one's open, so I'm going to pour a little bit out. And I'm going to leave it to the side with the cap facing
The
up.
only other thing that I wanted to ask you, because we have to state.
Then I'm going to start by opening my stereo
And
field.
if that's indicative of like normal weight, overweight, blah, blah, blah. So, do we
Okay,
want
so I open it. I'm going to slide the box away from there. And I'm going to set it to the side. I'm going to add some saline in the box. Once I have some saline, I'm going to open up my sterile gloves. I'm going to start from the top, from the bottom. My gloves, come on.
So first let's start out with, can you tell me your name and date of birth? My name is Teresa and my birthday is 1495.
Alright, thank you. Okay, very good.
And then grab this one.
Any allergies or reactions to anything?
No allergies.
Okay, good.
You can only touch 1 inch.
I'm not, don't be a pain.
Yeah.
Okay, so I put on my sterile gloves. Now I'm going to dispose of this. Throw it away. Then I'm going to grab my catheter, pick it up. I'm going to throw this one away. I'm going to slide the catheter into my hand.
Speak to her. Yeah. Is that the general survey?
Yes, the general survey, so.
Let's start it out.
Okay.
Dispose of this.
Teresa is,
I'm going to
looks.
roll it over my hand.
Teresa looks consistent with the age and gender that she stated.
Okay, I'm going to roll it in my hand. Then I'm going to grab my suction cup,
nothing out of the ordinary.
place it inside.
Her general appearance, she looks clean and dressed appropriately.
Okay, once I place it inside,
Tidy, and she's taking care of herself.
I'm going to
Teresa's
clean my suction cup, make sure it's working. So I'm going to place it on the saline, and I'm going to hold the pump down. Okay, so it's properly working. Now I'm going to remove the mask, and I'm going to start by first providing oxygen to the patient. As I provide oxygen, I'm going to give them 3 pumps. 1, 2, 3. Then I'm going to remove it from the top so I won't irritate the tracheostomy. So I'm going to leave this to the side. And I'm going to start cleaning it. So I'm going to go inside with the catheter. So I go inside. I'm going to pump. I'm going to hold the pump. And I'm going to rotate it as I come out to properly clean it. Okay. Then I'm going to dip it in the saline to clean it. I'm going to provide oxygen. I'm going to give it 3 squeezes. Okay. I'm going to remove it from the top. And place the catheter inside. And then as I come out, I'm going to rotate it. Okay. So now once I clean the catheter, I'm going to remove the catheter from the tubing. One thing I forgot to mention was that this is my non-sterile hand. This is going to be my sterile hand, so I can't touch the tubing with the other hand. So I'm going to remove it. Okay. Hold it with my glove. Press this to the side. Okay. Then I'm going to remove the cotton swab from underneath, because because I'm going to be cleaning it later.
Now what I'm doing is inspect your skin and
I'll place it on my hand.
Yeah, you do that.
Then I'm going to remove the tracheostomy tubing. Place it on my, remove it. Place it on my hand. I'm going to remove my gloves.
So I'm going to tap at your skin now, and look at your skin.
Hold it in this hand.
So I'm going to feel your skin.
Okay.
Any
I'm going to dispose it on the trash.
bumps or anything like that.
Okay. Then I'm going to now start setting up my, I'm going to wash my hands. And now I'm going to start setting up my tracheostomy care. So I'm going to dispose of this box and I'm going to start gathering my supplies. Okay, so I just got done performing the tracheostomy suctioning. So what I did was I put back the oxygen mask on the tracheostomy, and now I'm going to be performing the tracheostomy care. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over to my supplies. I'm going to perform hand hygiene, and I'm going to start by opening my tracheostomy care tray. So I'm going to check for the date, make sure it's not expired. It's not expired. So I open it up. I'm going to take my gloves out. I'm going to grab my tracheostomy. I'm going to throw it in the tray. Okay. Then once I do that, I'm going to remove my this from there. Okay. Set it to the side. I'm going to grab my gloves. Okay. Then I'm going to pick up the saline, pour it with my palm covering the label. I'm going to pour it on the on this side. Okay. Once I pour it, I'm going to start by putting on my sterile gloves. Okay.
We're gonna ask it, like, do you have this? You can write it down.
Open it from
But
the
if you
top.
just go up to the person or like look at them,
From the bottom.
then you don't write that down,
And open it from the side.
yeah. Thank you. No problem.
I'm going to
So you were
start
asking about radiation. Oh my god.
putting my glove on.
Have you been blah blah blah?
No, I'm okay.
Okay, no, this is what I'm gonna put in.
Okay.
I'll
Start
promote
in the
it.
hand.
So, or do you have prolonged exposure to the sun?
In the summer, I do like to be out in the pool.
Okay.
Parents'
Then I'm
pool.
going to grab this.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
going to throw it away.
Do you usually put on sunscreen before that?
I
Okay.
do, but
Mhm.
I don't reapply it.
Okay, so now I'm going to start
Yes,
by grabbing my
definitely. So you
cotton
wanna
swabs.
reapply after 2 hours of
I'm gonna
showers.
dip 'em in
If
solution.
you've been for a long time, you wanna make sure you use.
I'm going to make sure I have 4.
Okay, yeah, so that would help out. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start the skin inspection.
So I have 4.
Look at your skin and let me know if you're feeling
Then
different.
I'm going to grab my
Okay.
tracheostomy tubing.
Alright, is it- are you
I'm going
okay?
to grab it.
Alright, great.
I'm going to put it inside the patient. Put it on the patient's trachea. I'm going to slide the mask up.
Let me see, I'll do
Yep. So I just
Okay.
switched the hood and it's
Put
good.
it inside the patient.
Your color seems
Okay.
fair and it's pretty easy.
Then I'm going to start cleaning it.
Good. I don't see any
So I'm going to grab my cotton swab. I'm going to clean it in a quadrant form. So I'm going to start at the top. Slide it. And throw it away. Grab another one. Start at the bottom. Okay. Throw it away. Grab another one. Start at the bottom. Throw it away.
43 out of 50. That's good.
And the next one. Start at the top.
That's passing, right?
Okay. And throw it away. Okay. Now I'm going to pat dry my
Yeah, that's an 86.
pat dry the neck.
But
I'm gonna start at the bottom. I'm gonna hold down the tracheostomy. Okay.
I did not do very well on the
Where?
test at all.
And then one more.
It's not the big toe.
Or 7
top.
The goal, basically.
Let it dry. Okay, and throw it away.
The end result is that you.
Then I'm going to replace the neck bandage. So I'm going to, before I do that, I'm going to actually put on my swab under the tubing.
Okay, and then push up, and then push up. There we go.
So I'm going to place it under his neck
So are we supposed to
and make sure
we
it
say all
stays
three?
put.
Oh, I didn't check your temperature. Okay.
Just slide it up.
No, I feel okay.
Yeah, okay. So the scan seat,
Okay, so I'm gonna make sure it's properly put. It's comfortably around his neck. After that, I'm going to start replacing the neck bandage.
Okay, so I should have rounded.
I'm gonna wrap it around his neck.
So like if
Good.
the patient weighs
Your strength and
93.7,
constitution is good. She's able to
I
push
should
her
round it to
hands,
94.
and feet.
I should do that.
There's no, I have not noticed any bruises, cuts, scrapes, scars.
Then I'm gonna remove
or
one
odor.
first.
Patient has your piercing, I'm gonna touch it.
I'm gonna make sure I hold it down.
So I'm gonna go ahead and move on to hair. Do we put gloves on? Cause I put a note that, like in my notes, I wrote like put gloves on.
Oh, I think she was saying like if, I think it was like if you suspect that you might need gloves. So if you're doing
Okay.
screening for lice, if they have lice, put on
I'm gonna
gloves.
place the other one.
But not like, you don't have to put on.
Make sure I
gloves.
hold it down.
Alright,
Oh, and I'll remember to wear my hair down.
yeah. Alright, so, alright, I'm gonna go ahead and inspect your hair. Have you had, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Have you had any changes in your hair recently? Any, balding, hair loss, any itching, anything like that? Okay, great. Do you have a history of any, alopecia, balding?
Okay. Now I'm gonna remove the
Lesions or anything
old one.
like that?
I'm gonna toss it in the trash.
Oh, thinning.
Okay, once everything's put, I'm going to take off my gloves.
Holly's hair is symmetric and is.
I'm gonna take off my gloves. Throw them in the trash. Then I'm going to remove the chuck from his neck. I'm gonna remove the oxygen pump, place it to the side. And then I'm going to check for his lung sounds, make sure everything's properly functioning. Before I do that, I'm gonna wash my hands. Okay. So I'm gonna listen for his lung sounds.
Is it dark or black?
Yeah, it's naturally really dark brown, but I recently redyed. I usually dye it black, but.
Gotcha, yeah, like this one is black. Okay. Okay, no lesions or and hairs appear to be symmetrical on face, arms, and legs. Okay. Lastly, I'm moving on to nails. So I'm gonna go ahead and palpate your nails. Have you noticed?
Okay,
any
the
changes in
patient's lungs are
nail
properly
system,
functioning.
such as,
So now I'm going to
thinning,
remove my
shrinkage,
mask.
brittleness?
throw it, toss it in the trash.
Do you have any?
And now I'm gonna test for his pulse oximetry. Make sure it's between 90 to 100. Okay. So once I check it, his pulse oximetry is at 90. So everything's normal. The patient's properly he's in good health. So then I'm gonna raise the side rail. I'm gonna lower it. Put the patient in a comfortable position. I'm gonna lower it out of the bed. Okay, and then put on his oxygen mask back on.
A day.
A water bottle a day, okay, which is about 16 cups of water.
Okay.
Better than me. But we do want to aim.
After that, I'm gonna ask the patient if he has any pain, everything's okay. And if so, everything's okay, so then I'm finished with the procedure.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, 2 for lunch.